Welcome to another episode of Homemade Items with Cassandra. In this show, we will be covering food, crafts, sewing, and if you have any requests, be sure to comment them below, and we'll be sure to make your request happen. Please enjoy this episode on how to make a ham and cheese sub copycat from Subway. The ingredients that you will need for a ham and cheese sub is sub bread from the grocery store or sub bread that you make at home. Then you'll need ham, any kind of cheese, and any kind of meat. But today we're going to be doing ham and cheese. So for the ingredients of this sub, you will need sub buns, ham, cheese, pickles, lettuce, tomato, cucumber, green peppers, and ranch. I will also put the ingredients on other slides in the video so that you can follow them step by step. This is how you make a ham and cheese sub at home, just like they make at Subway. So you cut your sub like this, turn it around, open up the ham, grab a few pieces, fold the pieces like so, put them on the top of the bread. Next, you're going to put any kind of cheese on. For mine, I'm going to put 3 cheese. So a blend of light medium cheddar, part skim, and Parmesan cheeses. And you sprinkle the cheese on the ham part. Like so. Then you put, I'll move that out of the way. You put this up carefully on a microwavable plate and heat it up for 30 seconds. After you have it toasted and it's sitting in front of you warm, you are going to start putting your veggies on, starting with lettuce. This is how I like it. Okay, now you can use any kind of lettuce as well, and it doesn't have to be the kind that I'm using, which is romaine lettuce. You can buy a lettuce head and actually peel the lettuce yourself, or buy bags of lettuce. So you're going to sprinkle the lettuce on. There we go. After the lettuce is on, we move on to the next ingredient. You put your sub off to the side. Make sure if you got any pets or animals, make sure they stay away from your sub, because knowing my cats, they would want to try to eat it. So next ingredient you will need is a tomato, because these are really big tomatoes. You can get really big ones or you can get small ones depending on a preference of tomatoes that you got, that you have. So I'm just gonna use enough for one sub. You can use a whole tomato to make a bunch of subs and then take them to like parties and stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna cut it in half and use half. Same with green pepper. And that'll be the last veggie we put on, so stay tuned for that. Get some plastic bags ready so that you can put any leftover veggies in. So you take a sharp knife, a clean one, and you cut it in half, like so. Make sure you have a cutting board underneath, because if you try to cut it on a table or a countertop, you will accidentally mark it up, and you don't really want that. So you put half of the tomato away in a plastic bag so that it stays nice and fresh and you can save it for another time. Next, you can start cutting the tomato. So that your slices look like the slices at Subway. So this is basically a Subway copycat sub. Okay, once you got the slices of tomato on your sub, you are now going to move on to cucumbers. Now, I have already pre-cut the size I will need. You can have the items pre-cut if you want, or you can just do what I do and cut them while you're videotaping. So, here we go. Now, it's going to be a big sandwich because of the amount of ingredients. It's not a bigger sub bun that they have at Subway, so it's a lot smaller. We'll put some cucumbers on the top as well because there's some extra. Okay. So once you got the cucumbers placed on your sub, like so, the next ingredient you're going to use is pickles. And since I've got small pickles and not big ones, we're going to be using Sweet Gherkins pickles. They're my favorite pickles. So you can cut these up, or you can just put them as a solid. It's totally up to you. At least you'll have a little crunch. So once you have your pickles on, give me a second. As you saw before, I was using a knife and it wasn't really picking it up, so I just grabbed a fork to get the pickles. If you have the pickles already cut up in a container, that's great. You can just pick them up and then place them on. So since they're small, there's only going to be 3, but when they're like the dill pickles, you can place a lot on. Okay, next ingredient will be green peppers. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can buy pre-cut green sweet peppers, but in case you do, that would be perfect, because then you can just place them on. But in this case, we're going to be cutting them up. So we're going to cut it in half like we did the tomato. And every time you cut up a vegetable, make sure you got a clean knife. I'm just using the same one because it's easier, but make sure you use a clean one each time, because then you don't get sick from it. So we're going to cut it in half like so. Now, if it is off a little bit off center, that's okay. It doesn't have to fully be cut in half. It's just gotta be like a big piece that you can cut into small pieces and go from there. So once you got that done and cut, you're gonna get another plastic bag to put the rest of the green pepper in so that it doesn't go bad, so that you can use it for any other cooking. So there we go. We'll just put the alright. So then you start cutting up the green peppers. Into pieces. So that they look like pieces like this. And then once you have it all cut up and placed on the sub, you can finish off your sub. Once you have the green peppers all done up, it should be put on the sub just like this. And you can choose any kind of sauce now and go from there. So the sauce I'm going to choose is ranch, because that's my favorite, but you can choose any kind of ranch, any kind of sub dressing. You can buy a whole bunch and then make a whole bunch of subs. So this is what it will look like as a finished product once you put your sauce on. You can put as much on as you want. It's totally up to you, but it should end up looking like this once it's all done. And enjoy. Thank you for taking the time and watching homemade items with Cassandra on how to make a homemade ham and cheese sub. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!